I met my wife in February of 2007. I was hired by a ballet company to come in and be her partner. And when I met this girl I was supposed to partner, I immediately, fell in love with her. And within not too long, we were seeing each other. But I remember when we were talking about where our lives were taking us. We were talking about the things we did in our lives. And when I was younger, I did a lot of drugs, drank alcohol, smoked, was kind of crazy. By the time I was in my 20s, had a lot of debt, run-ins with the cops. It was a chaotic life, but I was successful at work. I did a really good job at work, and I was also a very caring person. I had a lot of love in my life. She said that there was no place in her life for things of that kind of nature. And I looked at her and I said, well, we'll just have to be good friends then. And she laughed, and so did I, and we kind of looked at each other like, man, he's full of bull right now. This is ridiculous. And I went home that night and I thought about the things that I'd been doing in my life, whether it was drinking and smoking and partying. And then I thought about this girl, really successful, really beautiful. And I realized that things had to change. But I didn't know how to make it happen. I had seen myself doing these things my whole life. I thought I enjoyed them so much. I thought they created who I was with my friends, the cool guy, the party guy. And from that day on, I never touched anything again. 10 weeks later, I was married to this woman, and go to church all the time, and I love it so much. Before then, I'd been spiritual, but there was always something missing, and I found it when I came to the Christian Science Church. And I kept hearing this hymn, "It matters not what be thy lot, for love doth guide." And I was thinking, I was like, yeah, but I'm only a ballet dancer and I can only make so much money. How am I going to be able to provide for my wife? How are we going to be able to buy a house? How am I going to get out of debt and still have money to survive and eat? And it's funny how things happen, but within the first year of us being married, everything changed. I made 3 times more than I'd ever made in my whole life in a single year. Job opportunities, I came out of debt. All these physical injuries I had, back problems, ankle injuries, everything, so-called conducive to ballet was gone. I was in perfect health. And the funny thing is my friends stopped partying. My friends stopped drinking and smoking, and all of a sudden they started finding themselves and getting married. And it's amazing to me because at one point in my life, I had been homeless, living on the streets, doing drugs, anything you can imagine. And now I have one of the most comfortable existences I could have ever imagined. I'm the person that I always thought I would have been when I was young, and I'm more than that now because of Christian Science and Science and Health with Key to the Scripture by Mary Baker Eddy. And even though I felt love through all those times, I feel so much more love now. I feel eternal love all surrounding me at all times, and life has turned out better than I could have ever imagined.